We are the sum of our decisions. Every decision we ever made led us to where we are. But sometimes in life we pull up to junctions, major intersections, where you know in that moment the decisions you make will affect you for the rest of your life, right? Do you stay with this partner? Do you go? Do you move to this country? Do you not? Do you quit this job? Do you apply here? You can begin to feel a lot of pressure, a little bit overwhelmed, right? Because you're aware of the gravity of your decisions in this moment. The word decision comes from the Latin root decidere, and decidere means to cut off, right? We use scissors to cut. When we cut into something, we make an incision. When we cut off something, it's a decision. We cut off all those other possibilities and commit to the thing we've chosen. So I'm going to lay down a little framework here. There's 5 steps. Whenever I do this, I'm always confident that in my heart, I'm making the right call. Really important, because you don't want to be looking back. You know, that can really trip you up. Let's get into the framework, the 5 steps to help you make any decision quickly, speedily, sure-footedly. The first step is gaining mental clarity. Oftentimes, these big crossroad points of life are very tumultuous, right? Something's coming to an end. There's a lot of emotions going on. There's a lot of feelings. So the first thing we want to do is still that mind. Let's not overthink. A great place to start. Dopamine detox, okay? And you don't have to take that to the extreme. Just lower the screen time. Get in touch with yourself, right? Your mind might be like a snow globe at this time, right? We want the snow to settle so we can see things clear. You want your decisions to be coming from you, not the influence of some reel you saw, especially when it comes to timelines. Because when you turn on your phone, you've got a 21-year-old millionaire driving a Lambo in Dubai. Put all that down, bro. That's not your story. It's not to say it can't be if you want it to be, but it's not right now. You got to remember too, social media is the greatest hits, right? So we just want to still the inputs and listen to ourselves. So that's number 1. Create mental clarity. Number 2, build up momentum in things that benefit all timelines. Whilst you're kind of mapping things out, right? Getting a feel for what things might look like, beginning to engage your imagination and visualize this stuff. Engage in activities that benefit whatever timeline you pick. This is about gaining momentum so that when you do make the call and you follow through, you already have the ball rolling. Your health and your fitness, strength, nutrition, sobriety, massive right now. You don't have to be sober all the time, but if you're making these big hearty decisions, you got to be able to listen to your heart, bro. You don't want to be calling big shots from a place of being under the influence. What else? Meditation, right? Socializing is another one. Saving money. Whatever way you go, you're going to want to have a bit of funding to back you on your way. Essentially, the point of this is trying to gain momentum. Movement. Raw action solves most problems, and it also destroys self-doubt. And that's another point too, right? When you're making these big decisions, you don't want to be in a lowly state. You don't want to be feeling pressured and, maybe fear of missing out or stressed about things, right? You want to be calling shots from your higher self, right? Because this is the trajectory of your life. I've just found myself at these crossroads in my life. And frankly, the weight of these decisions has been crushing. It's been very heavy. It's been a lot. And only recently, only in the past couple of days, has the fog started to clear. And now I have faith. I feel solid in the decision because I've taken the time to get my aura up. For lack of a better term, to get my mana up, right? Big decisions need to be made from a high place. Not a fearful, afraid, like, oh, I don't know if I could do this. This is why in like goal setting and stuff, they always tell you like, what would you do if you could not fail? This is the same essence of what we're talking about here. Right, so now we've gained a little bit of clarity. We've stilled the mind. Now we've got some momentum behind us. And now we've freed up a bit of time to make the decision by still engaging in activity that we know is going to benefit us whatever way we go, right? So number 3, now we pick up the pen and we write. Really what we're doing here is we're asking questions. Start with a question and then follow a chain. What do we want? Why do we want it? How might we do it? How long do we think it'll take? Pros, cons, and you can even add risks and opportunities. Pros and cons is a bit more like right now, they're like the benefits or the detriments of this thing at this moment. But the threats and opportunities, that's kind of like projection, that's future. What are the possible good outcomes here? What are the possible downfalls of this decision? Now, this is a very logical approach, and that's helpful, but you also have to listen to your instinct, to your gut, to your heart, right? And to do that, you might want to ask different kinds of questions. Which option feels energizing? Which option feels draining, right? Or which decision would my future self thank me for, right? That's a good one. What would make the best story? Or the classic one, right? If I was 80 years old on a rocking chair on my porch one day, what would be the coolest timeline to look back on? Like, fuck yeah, I did that. This can be a bit more effective sometimes than just being logical with pros and cons, because this elicits the spirit. This gets you excited. And as we spoke about before, when making big decisions, you want to be in a high state. You want to be feeling strong, confident, supported spiritually, if that makes sense. Number 4, consult your trusted people. This is your inner circle, right? These are your people. The key here though, don't overshare with too many people. I got maybe 4 homies that I talk to about the big stuff, and each of them are kind of approached with a different flavor. It's important to choose your confidants wisely, okay? People you trust, people who aren't gossip queens. Now, number 5, last tip, run a test. Run a test. If you're thinking of going to a city, pull up there for a week. Do as the locals do. Just experience what it's actually like. Try the activity. Get amongst the environment. Try the new hobby. Study the reality of it. That's going to help provide some more weight for your visualizations, right? What does it actually look like and feel like in the flesh day to day? Simple, effective. Those are the 5 steps. And then lastly, people, make the decision. By now you'll be confident in it. That was the whole point of this process, right? It's good to not procrastinate in the decision-making process, right? Especially if your intuition is telling you something needs to change. It's easy to sit at the crossroads and want to stand there with binoculars, gathering intel every single road that there is, and that's helpful. And part of this process is about that, but there needs to be a deadline in sight too. Because you can stay at these crossroads for years, and people do. But no man's land is nowhere. The fence is nowhere. Pick a side and ride. Who was it? I think it was Hunter S. Thompson, the writer, said, "Those who procrastinate in the hour of their choosing eventually have their decision made for them through circumstance." Right? To not make a decision is making a decision. It's a choice to not choose anything. Right? There's no neutral. And so if you pick nothing, you're probably picking a compromising option, because you can give up control, but you can never give up responsibility. A strong man doesn't always make the right decisions, because how could he know? How can you ever know for sure you made the right decision? All you can do is make your decision right. And how do you do that? You commit to it, and you don't look back. Now you make adjustments as you go, of course. Recalibrate, recenter, realign. You're going to need to do that many a time in your life. But you got to commit to the path that you choose. No decision is risk-free. Focus on trajectory, not certainty. That's it from me. From a man at the crossroads himself. Till next time, my friends. Give yourself grace this period. And if you're a bit stressed out, I get it, man. But follow these practices, these principles. I do trust that they'll see you right.